Yop, it's Yopptower here. Hey, Yopptower, it's Yop here, and welcome back to another episode of Yoppie Dudes. Yoppie Dude. So, guys, the day has finally come. Alright? Those cowards, those frauds over at the Watchtower, they have decided to record an episode of them talking about the Zetta Project. And you know, I tried to warn them. I sent so many strongly worded comments on their YouTube videos telling them that if you end up doing an episode of Jump on the Super Wagon where you talk about the Zetta Project, just know that you are stepping into my territory. And I told them that they were not prepared for that, they were not equipped for that, and wouldn't you know it, most of those strongly worded messages were taken down. I guess YouTube does not condone swearing in comments anymore. At least not the way I was doing it. So yeah, basically the Watchtower or Pod Tower or whatever they want to call themselves, they ended up going through with it. They talked about the episode, and guys, let me tell you something. Some of the worst takes I have ever heard on anything DCEU related. These guys know nothing about Zetta. Nothing with a capital N. You could tell they were struggling the entire time to say anything of note or of value about the episode. One of the hosts seemed like he hadn't even ever seen it before, and the whole episode was just dripping with hatred and stupidity and desperation. Those were the three big takeaways that I noticed when I watched this episode, and I was biting my tongue the entire time, trying desperately not to shout at the screen, because I've been doing that too much while watching Watchtower videos, and it has almost gotten me evicted twice. But it is hard to bite my tongue while I am watching two people discuss one of the most pivotal episodes in all of the Beyond Batman series. And these were the guys that people trusted with a Zetta month. Like, really take that in. That audiences out there actually trusted two frauds like these with the coveted name of Zetta. In my book, Zetta is the mark of quality. Do you understand that? When somebody says the word Zetta to you, that is your indication that you are talking to an intelligent person, to a reasonable person, to a person with class who understands the importance of animation and its impact on our culture and on our lives. And these hosts did not understand any of that. And if they did understand it, then they simply didn't care. And I'm frustrated. Okay, I'm just gonna say it, I'm frustrated because the Yoppie war should have ended long before they ever got to this point, but here we are. The time is here, and I only wish that I was able to wrap up my Zetta Project timeline video before they were able to release this atrocity onto the internet. But life isn't fair, and quality comes before quantity in my book. I could just release an episode every week and just call it a day, but no, because this show relies on time and quality and patience and attention to detail and time, and all of these things come together to form what we know as a Yoppie Dude episode in all its glory. A shining achievement in the midst of a YouTube landscape that allows trash, unmitigated trash, like what the Pod Tower is putting out there. They allow that onto their servers, and for that alone, I think that the higher-ups at YouTube need to lose their jobs. And I think that people need to let their voices be heard and let the YouTube executives or the YouTube police or whoever is listening, let them know that this sort of content cannot be allowed to continue. What the Pod Tower is doing over here is wrong, it's illegal, and quite frankly, it is disgusting. The carelessness and thoughtlessness that goes into their production of their so-called content is disgusting. Alright, now with all that out of my system, I do have some bad news that I kind of need to get off the docket here. I was told by Gaddy that the previous episode of Yoppie News unfortunately suffered a technical glitch. I don't know if it was a glitch in the mainframe or if we're looking at a corrupted file or something, but yeah, I was told that there was something wrong with it. I haven't personally gotten to see any of the Yoppie News segments ever since we started doing them. because I am so busy working day and night on the Zetta Project timeline video and also learning how to pirate news stations that it is just taking up so much of my time. Now, one day when these things kind of slow down a little bit, I do look forward to like looking back at all the Yoppie news segments that we have done so far and just feeling that pride. It'll almost be like watching a movie or something, seeing the broadcasts one after another and all the progress that has led us to where we are now. But yeah, unfortunately, last episode, I've been told it was a miss for whatever reason. I mean, you know, technical issues happen. That's just technology being technology. But I do appreciate everybody's patience. And Gaddy has worked night and day to make sure that this episode is living up to the highest of Yopptower quality standards. So honestly, I've kind of worked myself into a tizzy talking about all this Zeta stuff. I guess you could say I got Zeta fever over here. Although not literally though, because I already had a fever. It wasn't a Zeta fever, but I was running a very high fever previously. However, all that is behind us now, and I think we're just going to go ahead and close out this episode with this new Yoppie news segment. I hope that you enjoy, and I look forward to catching you next time with new updates on the Yoppie War and how you can take part in it. Thanks for listening.
Yoppie News.
Hello everyone, I'm Yopp, and today, here on Yoppie News, we're going to be discussing a little cryptocurrency that you may or may not have heard of by now. It's called Yoppcoin. Yoppcoin is the latest, trend, you might say. All the kids are getting in on this. It is being talked about from the playgrounds, the parks, the laundromats. Everyone is on and on about this thing. The malt shop, you name it, people are there talking about it. So, what is Yoppcoin? Well, I think that instead of telling you about Yoppcoin, why don't I show you about Yoppcoin? Right here to my side is a graph displaying Yoppcoin's value potential. So the value potential that we're seeing in Yoppcoin is just growing exponentially. Why don't we I'm going to block out all of the statistics and we're going to show one at a time here. So here we see month one of Yoppcoin. This is when we were just first getting started. The value potential was very high, but it was still fairly low because people hadn't started investing yet. Now so many people are investing that, why don't we just show it? Here is month two. Month two on the Yoppcoin graph, you just see such a steep incline. I couldn't even walk up an incline that steep. Month three, look at that. Look at that. We are nearly reaching the stratosphere here. And then month four, when you know it, we are literally off the chart. Literally off the chart. And the rest of the months don't even matter at that point. The rest of I mean, how can you look at this and still say that Yoppcoin is a scam? Look at the chart. Look at the data. It is all here in black and white. So, I mean, really, guys, if you're still holding out on Yoppcoin, I would say that enough is enough. You know, don't cheat yourself. You don't have to suffer and crawl your way through life. No, you can invest in Yoppcoin and stand tall. Every morning I wake up standing tall because I know that I am a proud investor in Yoppcoin. And remember, guys, absolutely free. Do you really want to miss out? I think not. You are much too intelligent for that. So invest now. And I believe that's all there is to say for the news.
Yoppie News.